Hi guys, this is Andrew with rockclass101.com. Today we're going to learn how to play La Bamba, and what's cool about this tune is that it's not just a solo ukulele arrangement. I put an overdub of the solo, so this lesson will include a play-along backing track for you to practice just the solo on top of. So we're going to be learning part 1 in this video, and part 1 is going to be covering the riff and the verse. And then if you guys want to continue learning the song, we have part 2 at rockclass101.com, which will be covering the chorus and the rhythm section underneath the solo. And then part 3 of the video lesson is going to cover just the solo. You can also get the complete tabs and access to the on-screen tab viewer, which lets you hit play and watch the tabs scroll across in real time. And you can, slow down sections and loop bars and stuff. It's a great way to practice and learn this tune. All of that is included at rockclass101.com. So go ahead and check that out. So let's get started with how to play the riff. And our riff is just going to be 3 bars plus a pickup measure. And our pickup measure is just going to be 3 notes. So we're literally going to start on the end of 3. So it'll sound like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. And then that 1 is our first bar, right? So again, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, right? So let's go ahead and I'll demonstrate the complete riff, and then we'll go ahead and break it down and learn it. Okay, so that's how our riff will sound. So we've talked about the pickup measure, but let's look at what notes I'm playing. I'm basically playing the open 4, and I'm doubling that note with the G note again on the 3rd fret of string 2. Then I play the open 1st, and then the 2nd fret of string 1, and then I move into a C, right? So I'm doubling the note of the G, right? Open 1st, 2nd fret of string 1 into a basic C. So from this basic C, I'm going to use my pinky to do a pull off 7 to 3 on string 1. Okay? Just like that. And then we're going to go to a higher voicing of an F chord, which I labeled as F1 on the tab. And it's basically going to be your index finger laying flat on the 8th fret of strings 1 and 2, and then your middle finger on the 9th fret of string 3. After that, we're going to take our pinky, put it on 12 on string 1, hit that single note, and then I'm going to move my first finger down to the 7th fret, but this time I'm going to cover strings of 1, 2, and 3. And put my pinky on 10 on string 10 on string 1, and the 4th string will be open. And I have a G1, so it's a higher voicing for the G chord, right? So now I've got this, guys. And I'm just going to pluck that one. You can strum it too, but if you alternate between strumming and plucking throughout the riff, you get a really cool sound instead of always the same attack of the chord, right? So you're already starting to see something with this song. You're starting to see that this song is literally 3 chords so far, right? Well, guess what? The entire song is just 3 chords. So it literally just bounces between C, F, G, right? And the easy way to remember it is that you have 2 bars. You have C and F in bar 1, and G is bar 2 by itself. So there's bar 1, right? Bar 1, C to F, G. And that'll be bar 2. Right, so that's how far we're at. And the next part, we'll go back to that same first notes of the doubling the G. But this time around, we're going to play 2, 5 on string 1. And then slide up to 8. Hit that twice, 7, 5. So all of that melody note is on string 1. Okay, and then it goes back to C. So let's go ahead and play just this first part and hear what it sounds like. Right? And then check this out. Back to C. And then to the higher F and to the higher G. So you'll notice that bar 1 is identical to bar 3. So if you know it once, you got it for the repeat. So that makes the riff easy, is that it has that repetition in it. So the entire riff again, guys, is 3 bars plus the pickup measure. Okay, so bar 4 starts us off with our verse, and that's where we left off at. And our verse is going to be so you first notice off that it's got our cowboy chords, our basic chords, and it's got the second time through some higher voicings of those chords again. So what makes it a bit challenging is that it keeps the right hand going throughout the verse. Like this rhythm and the swinging of ups and downs pretty much stays fluid throughout the entire verse. So, you know, it's all about keeping that beat steady throughout this tune. So the first part of the verse is going to be playing just a single note, and I'm going to bounce between playing this single note, the 8th fret of string 1, with a couple muted strums. So I've got 8 strum, 8, 8, strum, 7 into our C1 chord. And our C1 chord is pretty easy. It's a G chord moved up to 7, 8, 7. Right? So it's the same shape, just moved higher. So again, I have 8, strum, 8, 8, strum, 7, and then the chord of C1. Okay? And when I say strum, I'm implying it's a muted strum, right? So I'm using this first finger just to mute the strings so I can get that nice percussive sound. Okay? All right, after I hit that chord, it's basically jumping down to the beginning of the neck, and we have those basic cowboy chords, is what I like to call them. But you can see that when I'm playing those basic ones, I have a couple pickup notes. Like I have the open first string before I go into the F, and a slap into the G. So take a really quick listen to how this right hand's attacking. Again. So you can hear right after that last hit of that C1, I have a slap, and then an open into the F, a slap into the G. Slap 1 and then F. Right, so I have slap 1, F. And after that F, I have another slap and then the G chord. Right? That's basically the first 2 bars of the verse. After that, I go back up, and I have a little variation on this 8 in that I'm going to play it 1 extra time. So this time around, I have 8, strum, 8, 8, 8. Right? So it's just 1 extra 8th note that I have right there. And then going into the C1, that's all the same stuff. But now, when you go to the next bar, you're going to be playing the higher voicing of an F and a G. And I labeled this as an F2 because they're going to be different shapes than the ones we had previously done for the riff. So this F chord is going to be 5, 5, 3. We're going to ignore string 4. And then we move that up a whole step. And we have the higher voicing for G, right? F to G is just a whole step up. Okay, so it's the same kind of hits, you know, you have basically jumping between strumming the chord and adding a mute in between is what I mean. this first F is going to hit twice, followed by a slap into hitting the G one time. Right? So I have, after that C1, I'm going to do 2 mutes. Right? Ba ba. Followed by 2 strums on the F. So I have mute, mute, strum, strum, and then I have another slap after that, and then to that G. Okay, when I'm at that G, I'm just going to hold that chord out, and then I'm going to do a picking of second string by itself, followed by a slap, and then melody notes on string 1. I'm going to go 5, and then 8, 7, 5, just pull-offs, all on string 1. So again, we have okay, so you can hear again when I get to this, I have strum, hold it out, hit second string, slap, and then 5, 8, 7, 5, right? Okay, one more time. Cool. So basically you're starting to notice too that our slaps, when we add that to these bars, they're basically going to be on bars 2 and 4 throughout this arrangement. So that keeps you, steady with knowing where to hit when the beat happens, right, for a slap. So let's cover what we've got for the first part of the verse. We have okay. After that, it's pretty easy because it goes back to that higher C, and then the basic F and G, right? So if I add that next part, we have okay, and then it goes back, and we throw in a variation. So it's basically staying on that 8 on string 1, and then we're going to add 10 and 7 at the end of it. So these hits are going to go 8, strum, 8, 8, 8, strum, 8, 10, 7. You can even do a pull-off if you want. Right? 8, strum, 8, 8, 8, strum, 8, 10, 7. Okay, and then guess what? It goes back into that same higher voicing, so the F2 to the G2. Okay, and then again back into the cowboy chord version, right? So now let's play all the way up to there. We have then the next part, all that's the same as the first time we had done it, but this time when you get to that G2, that higher G, we're going to pick out of that. So it's basically going to be picking 3, 2, 3, 1, and then moving your pinky to 8 on string 1. Just like that, and then to the C1. Okay. All right. So for our premium members, guys, we're actually looking onto page 3 now, and this is the second bar on page 3, or bar 16 in the tune. So when I'm picking out of that, go to C1, slap, hit string 1, and then I have this F sus chord, which is an easy change. All you're going to do is take that first finger, drop it to fret 5 on string 3, and strum to the second string, followed by an open first. So again, I have strum, slap, 1, move it down a whole step, open first to a G minus the first string. And then we can actually add our pinky to 5 on string 1. And we can just vamp out of that G5 chord right there. So again, okay, so when I get to that G5, I'm kind of just highlighting string 1. So again, you can hear that it just kind of highlights that first one. And that will lead us into our chorus. Alright guys, so that's basically what the verse will sound like. So let's go ahead and just play the riff and the verse together, and we can hear what it sounds like. Alright guys, so that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you want to learn the rest of the tune, which is part 2, which covers the chorus plus the rhythm that happens under the solo, and then part 3 covers just the solo, and you want to get access to all the lesson assets, which is that backing track and the tab and the on-screen tab viewer, go to rockclass101.com and check it out. Alright, hope to see you guys in class. Thanks!